Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mutia Nur Syafitri Nasution. I will present about cognitive stylistics. Definition of cognitive stylistics is a relatively recent area of stylistics that has attracted linguistics since almost the last decade. As the descriptions, cognitive suggests this sub-branch of stylistics is to do with cognitions and the mind. Freeman explains that the term cognitive conventionally refers to the conceptual process of human mind that works on the basis of distinguishing between what is true and what is not, and thinks rationally of things. Nevertheless, she illustrates cognitive science and cognitions. Psychology in particular have become more prominent with researchers taking increasing interest in the human mind, body, and brain. Here is the key areas in cognitive stylistics. The fundamental principles of cognitive stylistics are largely drawn from the cognitive science in general. They can be summarized as follows. First is language is not a separate part of human experience but is fundamental to it. Language is therefore natural in origin rather than artificial or technological or part of culture. These aspects emerge interconnectedly and later. And second is language is embodied in the sense that much of it depends on the fact that we all basically share the same human shape, conditions, and experience. So it is not surprising when we see common metaphors or other language structures across the world's language. And the third is language is built on and adopt our other perceptual faculties such as sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, and our sense of physical space and movement. And the fourth is language includes cognitions, perceptions, memory, anticipations, speculative modeling, social relationship, meaning, and emotions. And so a disciplined account of it should encompass these matters as well. And the last is language descriptions must include an account not only the constraints and habitual patterns of the system, but also of the creative flexibility and imaginative innovations at the center of language practice. And here's the cognitive stylistic device. There's schema theory, activations of schemata frames, text processing plus new insights, cognitive mental representations, text word theory, discourse world, text world, subworld, conceptual metaphor, epistemic mapping of conceptual domains, source and target domains, mapping cognitive models, mental space theory, real space of mental representations, project hypothetical space plus space builders, mapping of grammatical forms and interactions of conceptualism. And here's the conclusions. First, cognitive stylistic as one of the most forefront fields of cognitive stylistic can provide as a systematic and a scientific approach to discuss authors and readers' understanding of the world and explain how these interpretations are reflected in discourse organization. And second is grammar of a language cannot be determined simply on the linguistic level alone, but it must take into account the cognizing process of the embodied mind. And the third is mental space or the conceptual integrations can help construct grammars that conceptualize the post world view. And the fourth is this Dickinson's use of the self-metaphor in project mental space has the effect of making the self dialectically present, grounding the self in the past, not only a self but the self as subject or agent in the originating space. And the fourth and the fifth is the language of poetry should be examined carefully and deeply with emphasis on the conceptual process of the embodied mind. And the last is the study shows the significance of conceptual metaphor as one of cognitive stylistic device which is used in creating a new ways of mapping in the real world on the textual world. And I think that is all and thank you. Thank you for watching.